Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 4th of July for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect. Please stay with me. I will then give you the main pointers for each of the zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. Now the Sun starts this week in the sign of Cancer but is joined on Tuesday by the quick wits of Mercury. So if we want to be talking more about where we live, how we live there, or whom with, or catching up with news with family members or those people in our extended clan, then Mercury's transition through this sign is certain to help that. But also on Tuesday, Mars, the planet of passion, moves out of the sign that it governs, where it's been for the last 6 weeks. Aries, brilliant for initiating things and getting a bit more active and on the front foot. For the next 6 weeks, Mars is in Taurus, which is obviously an earth sign. So that's very much more to do with tangibility. So the ideas need to be converted into something more long-lasting. But if we do want to grapple with those financial challenges that are presenting themselves with energy increases and foodstuffs going up, the cost of fuel also for our vehicles, then Mars is going to give us a lot of spark of determination to do so. But Mars in Taurus is also very sensual, and of course Mars is the planet of action. So if you're wanting to bring a little bit more raunch to your love life, Mars can certainly help. But Taurus also governs food, and Mars is about impulse. So we could find ourselves, wanting to enjoy the good things in life. And if we can get together with loved ones, with the Sun and Mercury in the 4th house of the overall zodiac, then that's going to be a timely thing to do. But in the second half of this week, the Sun's going to be forging an electric angle to Uranus, the planet of innovation, also in the sign of Taurus. And perhaps there could be some ideas sparking around how we live, especially about creating more space or being more flexible, which Uranus would really help us to engage with. It could also be the case that with Uranus in this sign, that some kind of sudden change or opportunity could present itself around that home-based agenda. Also in the second half of this week, Mercury, the planet that's just moved into the sign of Cancer, is in a right angle to Jupiter. So I think it's important with that particular aspect not to promise more than we can realistically deliver, but it's actually quite an upbeat and positive angle nonetheless. Now, at the heart of this week, we do have a quarter moon in the sign of Libra, which is about relating. The Sun, of course, in Cancer, the sign of feeling. So it's possible someone around us could be feeling a little bit more sensitive, maybe need some support. It could be that two people we get on really well with are not finding it quite so easy to coexist, and we may find ourselves being the in-between person trying to bring them together in some kind of helpful way. But just generally, somebody that's close to us could seem a little bit out of sorts. And sometimes relating can be a bit more of a subjective process when this particular quarter moon occurs. So we need to make sure that we're not getting too bogged down in that Cancerian energy, particularly with Mercury there, because Mercury likes the precision of the sign of Gemini, which it governs, and obviously the speed of thought. And also in its rulership of Virgo, it's very much about discrimination and being very meticulous about things. So in the sign of Cancer, the emotion of Cancer can diminuate some of the clarity that Mercury has. So I think that this quarter moon does suggest that some relationships may need to be worked at somewhat. But in general, Mars moving into the second house can give us a real desire to enjoy good food, good wine, good company. It could be with those that we really care for, and getting together in some kind of home-based gathering could be on the agenda for many people this week. Now, I've crashed through the 100,000k mark in terms of subs on YouTube. If you have already subbed, I'm so grateful. If you've yet to do so, I'd be honoured if you do so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And if you would like to ascend above this Zodiac broadcast and understand more and embrace more serious astrology, with my special package, if you give me 3 pieces of birth data of time, date and place, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life, and a 12-month personal forecast, and you get 30% off. Please see the link below. But now, please stay with me for each of the 12 zodiac sign forecasts. So Cancer, your week commencing the 4th of July forecast sees Mercury joining the Sun in your sign. That's a really happy event. Mercury moving through the 12th house can sort of promote a little bit of anxiety or a little bit of withdrawal. Coming into your sign brings you into the present. For sure, you've still got Venus in the 12th house. And you may be going through some very profound recollections around relationships. There may be someone that you're linking to at the present time that you're not quite ready to reveal to your friends, or perhaps it is some kind of connection that is confidential. And Venus, I should say, forges a beautiful semi-sextile to the Sun in your sign, and also to Uranus in your sector of friendship, which is a real electric influence. And in the second half of this week, the Sun and Uranus forge a great alliance. What does this mean? Well, Uranus is about the truth. It's about being as authentic as possible in terms of your long-term future. The 11th house, where it's located, is very much about your connections to others. And I think it's probably been bringing in some fresh people over the last few years, or perhaps, ironically, made you more independent. It just depends how it's played out for you personally. But the connection between the Sun and Uranus suggests that maybe you're going to take the initiative, perhaps in a quick moving way around the future prospect that may require some quick decision making. So really exciting stuff. Now also, Mercury is going to be squaring up with Jupiter. Jupiter continues in your sector of success, but Mars, which has been there for the last 6 weeks, relocates on Tuesday, as well as Mercury, into the sign of Taurus. So Mars moving into the 11th house is very much about your drive in terms of that future, but it can be about your leadership credentials, often very strong and very often underestimated by other astrologers, but not on this channel. You know, you are a cardinal sign. You have a real gift for organising and managing things. But I think Mars moving into this area is going to give you more oomph when it comes to pursuing what you want in terms of your more idyllic lifestyle. I'm not talking in a more material way. That's where Mars has been the last 6 weeks. It's been much more about going for your goals, ambitions, and maybe issues of status have also been manifesting themselves as well. But Mercury in the sign of Cancer does link with Jupiter, still in that sector of success. So it could mean that you're able to represent yourself in a very bright, sunny and optimistic way to someone influential. But it could be your network or your understanding of the politics of a situation, which actually also really impresses that person. Now, Venus, which is in your 12th house, that connects well with the Sun, and it also connects well to Uranus. So for me, it points towards some confidential discussions, or maybe soundings behind the scenes can be just as important as what you're doing in your own situation. But with Mercury and the Sun in your sign, which is very much about you taking a firmer grip on your life direction, and Mars being in the part of your horoscope to do with the collective in your future, this is an awesome set of influences for you to work with. Now, the quarter moon, what does that mean for you? Well, essentially, an opportunity could come up over the following 7 days from the middle of this week, where it's important not to let your ambition pulverize your more sensitive side. So, You could go for something, but stay in touch with how it feels, and that will guide you through. So a really bright, bubbly week, and I think Mercury moving into your sign and Mars into your 11th house, and the great link between the Sun and Uranus brings a week of real opportunity into play for you.